know the accident up there?
Yeah.
Someone got hurt.
They did?
A lady. She broke her neck.
Oh my God, but you can see her?
Yes.
Where is she?
Standing next to my window.
Baby, why are you shaking? Cole, what's wrong?
You ever talk to your mom about how things are?
I don't tell her things.
Why not?
Because she doesn't look at me like everybody else, and I don't want her to. I don't want her to know.
Know what?
I see dead people walking around like regular people.
I don't see anything. Are you sure they're there?
Sometimes you feel it inside, like you're falling down real fast. You ever feel the prickly things on the back of your neck?
Yes.
That's them. They get mad. It gets cold.
How often do you see them?
All the time. They're everywhere. They want me to do things for them.
I think that they know that you're one of these very rare people who can see them. So you need to help them.
What if they don't want to help?
I don't think that's the way it works.
How do you know for sure?
Is anyone there?
Look out! Please make them leave.
I'm working on it.
Right, shut up. Forgot to pause that. Hey up, it's Steve from the Old Yorkshire Geek. Hope you can hear me. That was the trailer for The Sixth Sense, which is tonight's film. Hello, everybody. Welcome, Wingrace and Joshua. Hey up. They're talking about Star Trek in the chat. Because Prodigy is being cancelled, idiots. Anyway, never mind. We're here for some frights tonight. So we're doing The Sixth Sense, which is one of my favourite films of all time. I've just watched it. If I look a bit bleary-eyed, because I've been bawling my eyes out, I'm a big soft sod. So, so that's why. So yeah, The Sixth Sense, 1999 film, starring Bruce Willis, of course. The breakout film for M. Night Shyamalan. There's the old Blu-ray, as you can see there. Look, playable. Plays on PlayStation 3 and Blu-ray player with an HD TV. If it goes into focus, there we go. And as they say, maximum high def experience. I think this is one of the first HD Blu-rays to come out. Probably. Anyway, so we're going to watch that. As I said, 1999 film. What budget did it have? It was a bit of a sensation at the time. $40 million budget, and its box office was $672.8 million. Wow. Wow, that's shocked me. I knew it was one of the biggest films of 1999, but anyway, so there we go. Yeah, we're nominated for 6 Academy Awards, didn't win any. How did Haley Joel Osment not win a bloody Oscar for his performance? It's amazing. His best performance. You don't see anything of him now, really, do you? As an adult actor, he pops up now and again, but you know, his heyday when he was a kid. Anyway, look, everybody's sticking up for me. I can relate. I'm a total softie, says Joshua. I know, I'm same. I tear up watching commercials. Ha ha, says Wing. He doesn't. He's lying. Anyway, so what else? Yeah, stars Bruce Willis and Haley Joel Osment. And Toni Collette was one of my favourite acting persons. I think she's amazing. And she's Australian, don't you know? You wouldn't know. You wouldn't know from the things she's been in. I don't think I've ever heard her talking in an Australian accent, but anyway. She's in that other amazing horror film, which I've only watched once, but I loved it. But I dare watch it again because it's so scary. Hereditary. It's a terrifying film, is that what I think it is? Anyway, Josh was talking. If I recall correct, Osment primarily works behind the camera now, does he? All right, I don't know. I say pops up occasionally in the odd film, doesn't he, and stuff. But he's piled the pounds on, hasn't he? He's not the scrawny little kid he once was. But anyway, oh yes, he was in The Boys, wasn't he? Yes, he was. Yes. Don't ask me what he did in The Boys, but yes, I remember him appearing in it. I mostly remember him being in Tusk. You know that Kevin Smith film about where they turn what's his face? Oh, I forgot his name now. In the Ring Galaxy Quest, turn him into a walrus. I like that film, but he was in that one. Anyway, right, what else? 6 Academy Awards, didn't win any. 4 BAFTAs, didn't win any. Bloody travesty. I was going to look up who did win for that year, but I forgot. I was actually rushing around at the last minute to get all this sorted out. I thought I was going to be late because I forgot to do everything. I forgot to get all my files ready and everything, and everything all sorted out. I forgot. I was nearly doing a Brian. Justin Long, that's the fella. Don't you like Tusk? All right. Know more about Tusk, Justin Long. I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. It was also in Future Man on Hulu. Never heard of it, but we don't get Hulu over here. We don't get Hulu. It's probably on Disney Plus then, to be honest, if I look it up. Because I think a lot of stuff that you'll get on Hulu, we get on Disney Plus, in the star section of Disney Plus. Right, so let's get this film on. I might cry again, we'll see. But anyway, I'll make myself small, so you won't see my tears as sharply. Right, so off we go. As usual, I won't be... hang on, I'm gone full screen. Have I? Just a minute. Rectify that. There we go. Stop playing. Where were I? Obviously, as I always say, we won't just be watching the film. I'll be going through it in a series of stills, blah, 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 blah. Might play the occasional clip. What else? While we're at it, don't forget, like and subscribe, share the videos, drop a comment, hit the notification bell if you're subscribed already. We're also live on Rumble. Let me double check. Yes, we are. There we go. And we're also live on Twitch. Yes, we are there. I wonder if Archmage Frey will make an appearance on Twitch. He sometimes does. That mysterious man. Anyway, what else? After we've finished, I'll be popping the recording up on Spotify, Amazon Music Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. And I'm also on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. If you want to follow me on there or send me a message or whatever. Links are in the description, as I've linked my 2 books. Sod it, I'll get them out. I haven't got them out for a while. Hang on, there he is. Oh, cracky. Make myself big again. Because you never know, somebody might buy a copy. Here we go. There, Silent Predator, short horror novella about big cats eating people in North Yorkshire. And Mercury Rapids, a light-hearted sci-fi action adventure about UFOs and stuff. Look, it's all words. It's got words in it, look. Look, words and stuff, no pictures. Right. The film. I'll make myself small again. There we go. Hollywood Pictures. Whatever happened to them, Ed? That used to be when Disney... Oh, look, he's there, look. What's going on backstage? Oh, they're telling us all about Future Man, not backstage, in the chat. Wingrace, Josh Future Man, a janitor by day and a gamer by night, is recruited by mysterious visitors to travel through time to prevent the extinction of humanity. So it's like The Last Starfighter, but with time instead of space, is it? Where's Wingrace responding? It's not showing up in the YouTube chat, isn't it? Oh, right. That's weird. And he says, I'm right here. And then Josh says, never mind, just showed up. Fun and games in the chat. Right. Hollywood Pictures. Right. Whatever happened to Hollywood Pictures? Remember Disney used to make good, like PG-13, R-rated films? That were usually Hollywood Pictures or Touchstone. Don't do it anymore, do they? I wonder why. Anyway. Right, so off we go. Hollywood Pictures. I mean, also, I was surprised, actually. I'd never noticed. I've seen this film like 80 billion times. By the way, I will be spoiling the twist from the get-go. I presume everybody knows the twist to this film. If you don't, where have you been for the last 24 years? But I think I'll be spoiling it from the get-go. There we go. Hollywood Pictures. The Sixth Sense. It's got a great score. As I said, this is M. Night Shyamalan's breakout film. He'd done a couple of films before. This is his breakout film. But it's got an amazing score by James Newton Howard. It's really atmospheric and, it gives me the willies, it does, which is what it's supposed to do. There we go. Misha Barton plays one of the ghosts. Written and directed by M. Night Shyamalan. And the producers were Frank Marshall, Kathleen Kennedy, and some other people, which surprised me. I didn't expect to see their names there. But anyway, so off we go. A light comes on, an old, an incandescent electric light with a filament and all that jazz comes on. None of your fancy eco bulbs in this film. Anyway, we see Olivia Williams. I think she's a British actress, I think. You may know her from, I think, X-Men Last Stand. She played a doctor in that, didn't she? She's been in other stuff as well. She's gone down to the cellar to get a bottle of wine. And she gets the chill. This is his first clue that it's going to be something a bit spooky. But we don't actually see anything here. But maybe there is a ghost there. We just don't know. She can't see it. Because she's not Haley Joel Osment for a start. I always look about and see if there's anything in the corners that I've not noticed. But and the breath's not appearing, so there isn't an angry ghost about. Anyway, so she runs back upstairs. There, and here we meet Bruce Willis, her husband. She's called Anna. He's called Malcolm Crowe. She's Anna Crowe, obviously. And he's just won an award. He's a child psychologist, and he's just won an award from the mayor and the city of Philadelphia for doing a sterling job. But Wingray says, this Unbreakable and Signs really hooked me. I like The Village, but that's where it started going wrong, in my opinion. Yeah, I like The Village. It was all right. I didn't love it. But, we're all right. He got a bit... He kind of got typecasted, M. Night Shyamalan, into the man with the twists, didn't he? And I don't think all his films had to have twists. But anyway. Yes, Joshua, Hollywood was great for a long while. Goes on to say, Unbreakable is the best. The Visit was also really good. Yeah, that were all right. I didn't like the ending, though. And enjoyed Lady in the Water more than most. I didn't mind it. But, I like, what's her face? Bryce Dallas Howard. She was in that, wasn't she? She was in The Village as well, wasn't she? I don't know, I can't remember. It's that long since I've seen it. And was The Visit one with the grandparents? I forgot about that one, but I thought it was good. Yeah, I enjoyed it, but I didn't like the end. Didn't like the twist. And me and my lad, Aidan, we went to see Glass at the cinema because he'd seen I forgot the one that before it. What they call it? Split. We'd seen Split beforehand, and he'd seen it on DVD or whatever, Blu-ray, whatever, Netflix or whatever he's seen it on, and he loved it. Don't know why, but he just did. So we went to the pictures to see Glass, and we were both kind of disappointed. Anyway, back to the film. So he's won this award. Oh, I forgot to mute it. I forgot to mute the bugger. Shush, Bruce. So he's won this award, so they're having fun looking at that. And you see he's putting clothes on. He's putting his... Because she says it's getting cold, so maybe there is a ghost in the house. Whenever you see red, you see that over there, that little that red doorknob on the cellar door. Red indicates death is around or something like that. Or there's ghosts in the air or something's being touched by death. Apparently, as I said, I'll be spoiling everything. If you don't want it to be spoiled, bugger off now. Watch everybody go. Wingrace and Joshua. Right, I'm out. Because I will spoil it pretty damn quickly. But not just yet. Right, so he's looking at his award he's got that's in a nice frame, and he starts talking like Dr. Seuss. A nice frame, that's a nice frame, that is, etc. So they decide they're having some wine, getting a little bit tipsy, and they decide to go upstairs for a bit of fun and games and frivolity and all that. Off they go, so they're having a bit of fun. And then she notices the glass is broken in the bedroom window, and there's glass on the inside, so somebody's broken in. So it's like, oh, crikey. And then we see that there's somebody in the bathroom. They see a shadow pass them. And we look and they see there's... where is he? Come on, where are you? Give me a minute. There he is. Donny, what's his face? Donny Wahlberg, Mark's brother. The better actor of the two, in my opinion. But anyway, he's playing Vincent Gray, one of Malcolm's ex-patients from 10 years earlier, when he was a kid. So I presume he's supposed to be about mid-20s or something here, I suppose. I remember, I'm sure I watched it once with the director's commentary with M. Night Shyamalan, and everybody were amazed at Donny's physique because he's quite ripped. But anyway, because he's just standing there in his underplugs. He's obviously upset about something, and we notice that he's got this white flash in his hair, and we notice that in Haley Joel. Well, he might do, I don't know, but Haley Joel Osment's also got a white flash in his hair, but at the back. I don't know what that implies, but they both share that trait. They're supposed to be similar characters. I mean, once I thought it was like a time travel thing, and I was thinking, you know, this Vincent Gray is going to turn out to be the Haley Joel Osment character, and he's stuck in this loop trying to help the same, you know, person over and over again. But it's not that. It's not that, which I thought would have been interesting, but never mind. Anyway, so he's all upset that Malcolm couldn't help him, and so he's come to exact revenge in his undies. I don't know why he's got taking all his clothes off. It's supposed to show that he's not quite in his right mind. Anyway, he's got a gun with him, as we'll see. He eventually remembers who he is, does Bruce. He goes through some names, and he kind of recognises him as Vincent Gray. Oddly enough, Donny Wahlberg would also be in a film with another character called Mr. Gray, Dreamcatcher. Mr. Gray, remember, is the alien. But anyway, yes, different Bruce Willis movie, Looper. Don't talk about Ryan Johnson films. I mean, it's okay as Looper, but it's not as good as everybody makes it out to be. Anyway. So, where were we? Vincent Gray. Right. So, he's upset that he couldn't help him. And I think we see that he's got lots of scratches all over his body. There's not lots of, but a few. You can just make them out in this. There's some there. And I think there's some on his back. When he turns around. I notice he's got a pierced nipple as well. Don't know if that's if that's a Donny Wahlberg thing or a Vincent Gray thing. I don't know. But he's got a pierced nipple. Something I'd never do, because I'll never walk around with my top off, to be completely honest. You don't want to see me with my top off. It's not a pretty sight. See, he's gone too far now. Look. Back again. Come back again. When you're ready. Oh, there we go. He's probably going to turn round now. I think it skips a little too far when he was the skip function. Come on, then. Either skip a frame or, like, skip over the bits you wanted to see. Stupid bloody thing. He's getting angry now. He's getting angry. Is Vincent. Pulls out a gun, as we see. Topless Tuesday streams. I don't think so. Not for me, anyway. But I bet there are some somewhere. If we go looking. Anyway, come on. There we go. Turning round now. I think we see some scratches. There we see some scratches on his back. 3 scratches. Oh, there might just be 4. If you watch like Ghost Adventures, I always find 3 scratches is like it's a demon. Everything's a demon in Ghost Adventures. Is that still going? I haven't watched it for ages. Anyway, so he turns around and he's got his gun. Got to do it like this because it'll skip over it. There we go. See, he's got his gun. And he shoots Malcolm. There we go. Bang! And then he turns the gun on himself, kills himself. And there we go. And then we see Malcolm's injured. And then we fade to black. And it says next fall. There we go. The next fall, which, if you're not in America, means autumn. We call it autumn in the rest of the world. with an N at the end for some reason. Why does autumn have an N at the end? A silent N? I don't know. Wingrace says it's telling us a spooky story now. I've woken up with three scratches or finger marks before. I was up. I was just grabbing my arm in my sleep. Well, maybe so. Yeah. Let's go for the, Occam's razor says you've done it to yourself. If it's you were abducted by aliens, probably. That's what I'll say. That's the easiest explanation. I forgot what we're going to say now. So we cut to the next fall. Oh, yes, spoilers now. I'm going to get into spoilers and just spoil it now. Bruce Willis is dead. Not Bruce Willis, but Malcolm Crowe is dead. So when you see him now, there he is. He's sitting there on the bench there. He's a ghost. Okay. My 5 viewers suddenly disappear. What? So he's passed away. So now we can look for the clues that show us that he is dead. Oh, well, we're in South Philadelphia. I presume this were all filmed in Philadelphia, by the way. Why? And he's reading his notes about Vincent. So let's go back a bit and see if we can read what he says, what he's written. There we go. And pause. There we go. Vincent Gray, age 10, referred January 19th, 1989. Parental status divorced. And then he's on about Vincent suffering from anxiety and is socially isolated and all that. I just wondered what it said. There we go. Almost as if people were lurking in the corners, asking him questions at the same time I was. And we hear that later. We hear that later, don't we? In the film, in the spooky audio recording that we're gonna thingy. Occasionally was. Occam was such a boring guy. Yes, he was. Yes. Occam. Bloody autocorrect. I think there's an N at the end because autumnal is the word it's shortened from. Yes, more than likely. Why did you say autumnal? But yeah, that's probably right. English, who'd speak it? Not me. Right, where were we? Right, so looking at that, and then he goes to his notes on Cole Sears, who is the Haley Joel Osment character. And he's the same age, I think. He's supposed to be the same age as Vincent Gray was, I think, when he saw him, or thereabouts. And there we go. He's age 9. I think Vincent Gray was 10, it said, didn't it? I think. I was looking at the notes. Divorce. So his dad's not dead. His dad's living somewhere else with a woman that works in a toll booth or something. But you see the similarities to Vincent Gray. So here he comes as Haley Joel. He puts on his glasses without the lenses in. And, off he goes, and Malcolm follows him. Off he goes. He's heading for school. Don't know why. I forgot the name of the character. Tommy. Where are we? Tammy. What's his face? Hang on. Tommy Tamissimo. I don't know why he's not there because every time we see him, well, the next time we see him, he's going to school with Tommy Tamissimo, but not this time not the first time we meet him. Anyway, so off he goes. Oh, bloody hell! All right, so sets off in hot pursuit. There's Malcolm. By the way, all the way through the film, he's not going to school, that's why. All the way through the film, you notice that he's wearing the same clothes as Bruce Willis, Malcolm Crowe, because it's the same clothes he had on, the same, either he had them on or he had worn them the night he was shot and killed. Even the jumper at one point. Even though he didn't have the jumper on when he was shot, he did wear it earlier on, didn't he? Right, so they're going into a church, and we hear Cole speaking Latin. Obviously, one of his ghosts is speaking Latin to him. And anyway, so Malcolm introduces himself. Obviously, Cole's not happy about this because, we don't know, or, allegedly, we don't know that Bruce Willis is a ghost, and nobody else can see him except for Cole. So he's seen another ghost, and he's probably a little bit surprised that this ghost is, speaking to him and being quite, nice and stuff. Asking him about the Latin. He says, "Do all your soldiers speak Latin?" He said, "No, just one." And he goes and looks it up later. He asked him about the glasses. I think they were his dad's, and they took the lenses out because they hurt his eyes. He wears a lot of his dad's clothes, so he obviously misses his dad. Maybe, I don't know, but because he wears his dad's watch as well. Joshua's blame Samhain for the silent N. Probably did that to mess with folks. Well, no, but it's not a silent N though, is it? In Samhain? Well, I don't think it is, but it's not pronounced Samhain. Donald Pleasance in Halloween 2. Silly man. It's Samhain, isn't it? I think it's is it a Celtic word or something, Irish or something? I don't know. Anyway, where were we? Right, so let's carry on. So they're talking away. We notice he's got scratches on his arms, like we saw the scratches on Vincent. So Malcolm's made note of that. By the way, it said Malcolm that he had an appointment with Cole, but he'd missed it for some reason, and I don't know if this appointment was supposed to be the year early or however long it was. The previous. 'Cause it says the next fall, but would it last fall? It would probably last fall, wouldn't it? Because the trees did look as though when it was shot and we looked out through the bedroom window and that, when we saw it broken, they did look a bit, autumnal, didn't they? So maybe it's about a year later. So maybe he was supposed to meet him a year ago, but I don't know. Anyway, and Cole says, "Am I going to see you again?" And obviously, Malcolm's thinking, in a professional way, but obviously Cole's thinking, "Am I going to see you ghost again?" Because he sees dead people. And by the way, on his way out, he steals. We'll see. No, never mind. We'll see in a minute. Gonna do it. No, there we go. Is he going to steal that? There we go. Steals that little statue of Jesus, and we see he's got this little shrine in his bedroom with all these religious things. It's probably just nicked from the church with all these religious knickknacks and let's say figures like that. Because he probably thinks it'll help keep the ghosts away, but it doesn't. Right, so he goes home. There's Bruce. He says, "Honey, I'm home," but there she's asleep, and obviously she doesn't know he's there. So he's got to go. He wants to go down into the cellar to do some work. That's where his office is. And we see the red knob on the cellar door, and it's locked. He tries it, and it didn't show it there, but he tries it, and it's locked. And then we see him fumble in his pockets, but we don't actually see him go through the door. He just appears on the steps. The next scene, he's coming down the steps into his office. We never actually see him go through a door in this film. We never see him open the door or anything like that. He's just there where he needs to be. That's another clue, I suppose. Anyway, there's all this stuff down here. I don't know if he's actually moving this stuff about or if it's all in his ghost mind. I don't know, but there's his notes on it. Oh, and he's got a Latin dictionary out, and he's looking up, what the Latin words that Cole had said. It says they had done it. De profundus, something or other, ad te, blah, blah, blah. And he looks it up, and it says something along the lines of, I remember. We'll see. There we go. Out of the depths I cry to you, O Lord. So, that's a bit deep, isn't it, for a 9-year-old kid? Even if it is Haley Joel Osment, I think he's just been an old man. I think he's like Benjamin Button. He's not aging in reverse, but I think his mind is. He started out as old inside and getting younger as his body ages. Right, so we cut to a little scene of I think it's a Philadelphia statue. I suppose you Americans all know this stuff. Right, so we're at the Sears house, and we meet Toni Collette now. There she is. She comes in. She's getting ready for work, I presume. And she goes in the kitchen, and we see that cupboard doors and drawers are open. So that's she thinks he's been doing it. He's been looking for stuff, but we know that's not the case. This is it's the ghosty ghosts that's doing it. So she goes out, then she comes back in, and all the cupboards are open. Not all, but most of the cupboards are open, the drawers, and Cole's sitting on at the table with his hands pressing against the table really hard, and we see he's been pressing so hard. He's left like a sweaty imprint on the table. I think it also maybe got a bit colder as well, so a bit of condensation. But she thinks he's just been looking for something, and he says, hot pockets, and they're right there, as you can see. There they are. So then there's Tommy Tamasimo arrives. Why she's he asks if she's thinks he's a freak, or not a freak. If she's mad at him or whatever, and she says, "No, look at my face. I'm not mad at you." And the exchanges between these two actors in this film, or actor and actress, these are the ones that set me off crying, because they're both amazing. Anyway, so he takes his hot pocket and off he goes to walk to school with Tommy Tamasimo. And it's all an act, as far as Tommy Tamasimo claims. He hates Cole. He's just his mum set it up, to try and get Cole to make a friend. And but anyway, right, so he goes to school, and then he comes home from school, and we see Malcolm and I forgot the name now. Cole's mum. What's she bloody called in this film? I can't remember. Let me look it up. Where is she? Lynn. That's it, Lynn. Hello, DJ. Welcome to the show. And the sat, or sitting, should I say, in looking at, well, not looking at each other. You think they've been talking. You think he's had a bit of a meeting with his mum, but we know that's not true. She's just sitting. As far as she knows, she's alone in the room, and so she's just sitting there waiting for Cole to come home, and he's just, I don't know what he's been doing. Maybe he's been talking to her. She's been ignoring him, as far as he's concerned. I don't know, but he's just sitting there. As we learn later, Cole does explain, the ghosts see what they want to see, and I presume they hear what they want to hear as well. So, let's see. Anyway, hope if I right, there he goes. Appears like magic, just like the shopkeeper in Mr. Ben. There he's obviously he sees Malcolm there, so he looks a bit startled. Then his mum goes up to him and says, "What kind of a day have you had?" And he says, okay. And then she says, "Oh, well, my day, I won the lottery, and then went and bought a big cake, and I swam in the fountain. Made stuff, she's making things up to make him feel better." And then he says, "Oh, I was picked first for the kickball team and scored I can't remember what he said, but we're all amazing, and everybody lifted me up on the shoulders." And we see that happens at the end in real life. So they have a nice little fantasy thing there going on, which is nice, and it makes Bruce smile. Oh, hang on. Steve, your comment about Osment being an old sword reminds me of that movie Birth with Nicole Kidman. I don't think I've seen that. I do think. I'll have to give it a look. Good day so far, though I'm being lazy than I should. Well, that's like me every day. Because DJ is asking everybody if they're okay. And yes, we are. Well, I am. Oh, pardon me, burping. Have a drink of my water before we continue. Oh, it's blooming warm again here. I wish this high pressure would bugger off and let's get some cool weather. I've got my little air conditioning thing going here. I hope you can't hear it. I can hear it whirring away, but I hope you can't hear it. Right, where were we? Right, so we're gonna have a little talk with the. Oh, they finish up. She's gonna start making dinner, tea. There you go. That's that. And so he's gonna have a little chat with Malcolm, but he don't want to talk to him because remember he's just seen a ghost. But Malcolm, he thinks he's seen a patient, obviously. So he said, I'll play a game, I'll ask you some questions, and if I get it right, I'm going to read your mind. That's it. I'm going to read your mind. And if I get what I say right, take one step forward towards the chair. If you make it to the chair, you sit down and we talk. And if you make it the other way to the door, you can leave. So he says, okay. So he does that. So he asks him some questions. He says, people don't understand you, stuff like blah, 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 blah. And he gets them all right, except a couple. Doesn't do well, to be honest. And Cole walks out. He thinks Malcolm thinks he's not doing a good job. That's the watch that he wears. He says, oh, your dad gave it to you before he left. And he says, no, but I just found it in a drawer. He forgot it. And it doesn't work. So, yeah. I don't know why he wears his dad's clothes, to be honest. His dad's, stuff. I get the feeling he wears he wears his dad's clothes as well. We see him, with big clothes on. So I presume that his dad's. But his dad's not died or anything. He's just buggered off. I think he lives with another woman. So it's not as if he's remembering his dad, because he's not, because he's passed away. But anyway. Dear. Come on then, get on with it. There we go. He says, Cole says, you can't help me. You're not very good and you can't help me. And then he walks out, as we'll see in a minute. There we go. And then next scene, Malcolm arrives at a restaurant and we see Anne's there in a red dress. Remember red? She's sitting there already. And he says, I thought it was the other Italian restaurant that I asked you to marry me in. Anyway, he sits down and he starts talking about Cole. And she's not answering him, obviously, because she can't see him because he's dead. She can't see him. And there's clues all around that, she's just sitting at a table by herself. Just her side of the table is, has got things on. His side has nothing. There's nothing ready for him. It's just a table for one, basically. It's not a table for two. But he's telling her all about Cole. And then the check arrives in a moment. There we go. As you see, and he went to take it, but she got it. She didn't even know he was reaching out for it. It'd be nice if she'd touched his hand and so withdrew a little bit as though it were cold or something like that, and gone, oh, what was that? But she didn't. Probably that'd be too much of a clue. Anyway, and she signs the check thing, whatever, and he's talking away to her, and then she just says happy anniversary and walks out. Because she's there remembering their anniversary because she can't get over him. That's one of the things. Yes, he does have a shadow. Yes. Does he have a shadow? Yes. I presume he makes it himself because we see what he sees, what he thinks he's seeing. So he thinks he can see his own shadow. That's how I look at it. Anyway, they're a fade to black there, as you can see. And then we're back in Cole and Malcolm are walking to wherever they're walking to. Maybe school, I don't know. But this is where we learn that Tommy hates him. And he says, do you hate Tommy? And he says, no, I don't. There's Cole. And he says, Tommy calls him a freak and all that. And he says that everybody thinks he's a freak. And And Malcolm says, "No, that's nonsense. You know, anybody calls you a freak, ignore them. That's just bullshit," he says, and that shocks Cole. Oh, you can't see it. I can't get rid of me. Hang on. Could you hear me then? If I take myself, I don't know if you can hear me. I'm just pointing out Cole's white flash in his hair. I think never mind. Anyway, where were we? He says that was bullshit, and then Cole's shocked and said, "You said the S word." He says, "Yes, I know. I'm sorry." Anyway, so that's that. I think this is where we learn that no, we didn't hear. All right, fair enough. I don't know. Never mind. Anyway, whatever. I was just pointing out the little flash in his hair. Then what? And this is where we learn that I think Cole's starting to no sound with me off screen. Right, fair enough. I didn't know, but now I do know, so I won't get rid of myself. I thought there might have been, because it's like a separate camera and microphone, isn't it? You'd think, you know, it'd still know that I'm using the mic, but anyway, whatever. This is where Cole's kind of getting used to Malcolm being around and liking him and stuff. And then I think we're with his mum now. Yeah, but with I forgot her name again. Is it Lynn? I think it's Lynn, isn't it? So obviously doing some housework, and we notice it says it's getting cold in their apartment, and she's putting the temperature up on the central heating or whatever. A Honeywell again. I think we saw a Honeywell thing in another film, didn't we? I can't remember which one it was. And I spouted, nostalgic about how I used to work with Honeywell mainframe computers. Anyway. Does the film ever say when Cole started seeing dead people? No, it doesn't. It doesn't say. Not as far as I know, anyway. I presume it's been all his life, to be honest. But as he's got older, maybe he started, realizing that they're not like imaginary friends, sort of thing. I don't know. But no, it doesn't say. But I'm guessing it's been all his life, probably. I have a Honeywell fan right next to me. Oh, very good. Hello, Honeywell fan. That sort of fan, like supporting Honeywell. Yeah, go Honeywell, that sort of fan. I'm being silly. Right, anyway, so she's doing some housework. There we see his little tent is made. Inside that tent, he's got all his religious accoutrements. Anyway, she's looking at these photos, and this bit, I was thinking, she's looking at them as though she's never seen them before. And it's like, she lives there. They've probably been there for years, these photos. It's like she's just noticing. There we see a photo of Cole, and then we see that the photos of Cole have these little shiny, lens flares on. Obviously, they're ghosts hanging around him. But they're everywhere, aren't they? It's just him that can see them, isn't it? You want him that took the photo, they're everywhere. They're not just around Cole, they're around everybody, aren't they? And just Cole just happens to see them. And Vincent Gray did as well. So they wouldn't just be hanging around Cole. Or maybe they're drawn to him a little bit because he can see him. I don't know. Maybe they said that in the film, but I never noticed. There was another photo with a lens. It just looks like a reflection on the door frame, doesn't it? But, I'd debunk that immediately. Anyway, so then we cut to Cole's playing a game or whatever behind the couch, talking to Malcolm. I can't remember what they're talking about, but it's obviously got some importance. But his mum is in the bedroom, and then she finds one of his writing pads. It's got some upset words, I suppose you could say. And that's how Cole describes it. Let's have a read. Christ, break the freaking glass. Oh no, God, no, what the hell is going on? Quiet the damn baby. I'll cut you, I swear it. So obviously this is what he's hearing from the ghosts. Someone stop the burning, I'll kill you, I'll kill all you thingamabobs. and etc. So that's obviously he's writing. Oh, so that's what they're talking about. They're talking about free association writing. That's what Malcolm's talking to him about, where you just start writing, you don't even look, and you see what comes out. It'd just be squiggles if it were me, but I'm presuming this is what's happening here with Cole. Joshua says, also, my daughter has a white streak in her hair. It kind of just showed up as it darkened to brown from blonde. I should ask if she sees dead people. Yeah, well, don't, because she might scare you. There we go. A close-up of the upset words. Oh, yeah, I think earlier on. It might have been earlier on. Is it yet to come? No, I think it's earlier on. When they were talking, when they were doing the going backwards and forwards, towards the chair. I think it was during that part. It said that he once drew a picture at school. That's because he asked him if he was a good student and he'd never been in trouble at school. And he took a step back and he explained that he'd once drew a picture of a man that had been stabbed by somebody else in the neck and died. And so obviously the teachers were concerned about that, and they had a meeting and called his mum and all that. And he says, so after that, I never drew those sort of pictures again. He'd obviously seen a ghost of somebody that had been stabbed in the neck. And he says he just draw, nice things, people smiling, dogs running, rainbows. He says, they don't have meetings about rainbows. So there we go. So it's an amazing script, is this? As M. Night Shyamalan wrote it, and they did an amazing job. So she's seeing that. She's upset about that a little bit. Is Lynn? So she's worried that there's something up with her son, and I can understand what she's going through. Like I've lived for 30 years with an autistic son, and 99% of the time it's fine and everything's okay. But every now and again, the autism rears its head, and that's when you think, oh yes, this is my life. But anyway, right. So going. I can't remember what happened there. He's looking through his books, and he writes in it. Writes in his books. Why does he have to do that? He's just showing us in it that he thinks Cole's bruises may be self-inflicted. You don't have to put a ring around it, mate. There we see he's in that jumper again that he had on the night he was shot. Then he hears, he's in his cellar, by the way, his basement, and he hears somebody arriving, the door, somebody knocking on the door. He's going, well, can you get that? Because obviously he doesn't know he's dead. And learn that it's Anne's, one of Anne's workmates. Or I think she owns like I don't know what it is, like an antique shop or something like that. I think she owns, and he's her assistant. But he also, is her assistant's in love with her. We see him come out, and Bruce watches him and says, keep walking. He comes out, and then he sort of like turns to go back, and he drives off in the end. Now we cut to the school. See, this little bugger's obviously been naughty. He's writing on really neat handwriting. I mean, I wish I could write that neat on a blackboard. Or the board that's on my fridge, with a wipe off marker. I will not hit or kick anyone. So there we go. So he's the Bart Simpson, isn't he, of the film. Cole's blowing his pencil. And the teacher's talking about Philadelphia, and he's saying, it was the capital of the United States from 1790 to 1800, something like that. And then he says, this building that we're in, does anybody know what it was before it was a school? And Cole puts his hand up and he says, they used to hang people here. The teacher says, well, no, that's not true. Says this used to be a law court, whatever they called it, something like that, where they passed laws. Some of the first laws of the United States were passed right here. And Cole says, yes, they were the lawyers that hanged the people. And the teacher saying, "No, that's not true. I don't know what these guys have been telling you, but that's not true." And he's looking at him in a slightly condescending manner, and Cole doesn't like that. I think he'd said earlier, yeah, when they were walking down the street, him and Malcolm, he said, "Don't look at me like that. I don't like it when people look at me like that." So Malcolm apologizes to him. So he doesn't like people looking at him in a certain way. As I said, I can relate because I've got an autistic son, and if you look at him funny sometimes, you're in for it. He gets upset, does Cole. So then he starts talking to the teacher, and obviously one of the ghosts has told him this. Maybe he's whispering in his ear or something. He says he's stuttering Stanley. Says, he used to stutter and all that. So they used to call you stuttering Stanley. So it starts stuttering as the teacher, and he's going stuttering Stanley, and all that is cool. The teacher, loses his temper and bangs his hand down and says, "Stop it, you freak." So that didn't end well. There we go. I bet you know what he's about to say there, don't you? Anyway. So next up, we see Cole sitting in the chair with his arms at his side. Let's just make sure we're still going, by the way. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. We're still going on YouTube. We're still going on Rumble. Oh, hello. Oh. Somebody's talking to us on Rumble. Pippo123 says, "Hello, sir. I think you should do Marvel ones. It's a suggestion. This good also." Yes, Pippo123. But this is my Friday night appointment with Fee, and I don't think Marvel do many horror films, do they? They did Werewolf by Night, but I didn't like that. But it's a thought. I might do a Marvel one for me Monday night, my Monday moan, because there's a few Marvel things I don't like. But anyway, thanks for the live chat in Rumble. We're still going on Twitch. Right, off we go. Yes, what a great educator. Yes, but he kind of freaked out a bit, didn't he? With the stuttering Stanley thing. How did this kid know about that? Anyway, so Malcolm arrives. I don't know really what's going on here. I presume there's been another meeting about Cole, and maybe Cole's just waiting there. I don't know. So Malcolm does a magic trick with a penny, and it's a rubbish magic trick. And Cole's not impressed, and moving the penny from one hand to the other, except he's not. Didn't like Werewolf by Night. Not surprised. No, I didn't like it. I didn't think it was rubbish, but I just didn't like it. I thought, it was. What's the word? I don't know. I just didn't like it very much. I mean, the fact that they were trying to redo like the Universal classics, and it didn't work for me. It wasn't like a Universal classic film at all. Anyway, where were we? So he's doing this magic trick with a penny and just keeps it in the same hand all the time. And obviously Cole knows that. And he says, it was in the same hand all the time. And Bruce says, "Do you think so?" And he says, "I didn't know you were funny." So that's the end of that scene. Right, so he's gone home again. She's been watching their sort of like wedding videos. So he's enjoying watching that. It's one of their friends. I don't know, maybe she's the main bridesmaid, I suppose. One of Anne's friends saying that, she loves them both and all that. She's getting all teary-eyed. He's smiling there. He's watching that. So obviously she's been watching that as Anne. He goes up to the bedroom. She's in the shower. There you go. And then he looks and sees in the medicine cabinet, she's on antidepressants. Take with food or milk. But there you go. I was always told never to take medication with milk, because somebody once told me that milk lines your stomach and prevents it being absorbed. I don't know if that's true or not. Anyway, right. So you notice that she's on antidepressants. So there we go. He goes to the cellar again, and the door's locked, and then we see him start to fumble for the key, and then I presume he just magically appeared there. Right, we're at a birthday party. One of Cole's school friends, it's not a friend, but You know, he says my dad forced me to invite him. That's probably what happened to me. Probably not that I was invited to many birthday parties. When I was a kid, birthday parties weren't really a thing. I think I had one in my whole life when I was a kid. That I can remember. I said my school friends came. The kids on the street came, and you know, we had jelly and stuff like that, and we played pass the parcel. And that was it, you know. In the old days, that was back in the 70s. Anyway, Joshua was talking about Werewolf by Night. I thought it was going to be better than it was, but I did enjoy it. I thought they hacked the Universal monster movies nicely. I don't know. I didn't. I didn't. Just because it was in black and white don't mean it's going to be atmospheric, does it? Anyway, so Cole is at this party doing this trick for this kid who kind of reminds me of the kid from Bad Santa. I don't think it's him. It kind of reminds me of him. He's doing the trick that Malcolm showed him earlier on. And the kid thinks it's stupid. He says, I want my penny back. Anyway, so that. Lynn is talking to the other mums saying, you know, Cole doesn't get invited to many parties. And he said, we invited to a Chuck E. Cheese last year and he hid in, you know, one of the play tunnels until the end. And that happened with me. Aidan got invited to a birthday party. We went to, what do they call it now? I can't look at it's like I presume a Chuck E. Cheese. I don't know what you have in America, where there's all the play things for kids, ball pools and all that, and everything's all covered in foam so the kids don't hurt themselves. But Aidan found the one part of it that didn't have any covering on and banged his head on it, didn't he? Massive bloody goose egg on his forehead. Not typical. Anyway, so he's going upstairs. He notices something upstairs. A balloon floats up, and he's going following the balloon. A red balloon, nothing to do with Nina, nothing to do with 99 red balloons. A red balloon. Notice he's got a red jumper on as well, by the way. And he goes up, and as he's going up the stairs, we start hearing whispering, and somebody's asking to be let out. So anyway, as he goes up, he notices there's like a little cupboard. The door's open, but then we hear somebody inside saying, you know, please let me out. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to steal the master's horse. And then the voice gets angrier and angrier and says, if you don't let me out, I'll burst out and get you all. And then so he's like listening to that. And then Tommy, whatever the hell his name is, notices him. So they go up. And they basically... They push him in the cupboard. They say, we're going to play a game, and they push him in the cupboard. And Cole's screaming because they pushed him in with a ghost that he can see. The balloon pops on the light bulb. Like that. Yeah, anyway, hey Cole, what a balloon! Because they all float, don't they? Go pop pop pop. Anyway, they've shut Cole in the cupboard. He's screaming. He can't get out. He's banging, let me out, let me out. And he's screaming his head off. And Lynn goes running up. And she can't open the door. I'm sure I saw it in... I'm sure that might be I'm having a Mandela effect thing. But I'm sure somebody said it doesn't lock. Unless I might be thinking of Amityville Horror. I can't remember. Anyway. She can't open the door, she's banging on it and it won't open. But then it just, you hear the lock unlock and it just swings open. And Cole's unconscious. And, so she takes him to hospital. And the doctor, here we get a cameo from M. Night Shyamalan because he thinks he's Hitchcock. There he is, M. Night Shyamalan. Playing the doctor. He played the doctor in Thingamabob, didn't he? Or was he a vet? In Signs, didn't he? The one that killed Mel Gibson's wife accidentally. Anyway, this is his cameo, and he's the doctor, and he says Cole's fine. There's no signs that he had a seizure, but they've noticed the marks on his body, his bruises and his scratches. So they're basically accusing her of hurting him. She says, they're from sports, and he says, "Are you accusing me of hurting my child?" Wants to know what's going on. So anyway, referred basically to social services. Well, you're a vet. All right, Maria. a vet. I couldn't remember. But good film is Signs. I like Signs. She's getting angry with the doctor. They've referred her to social services. Bruce is there watching, so he's going to go talk to Cole now. I presume those are his dad's socks. I presume. He's talking to Cole. Tries telling him a story, but he's not very good at telling him stories. So then he starts telling him about Vincent Gray, and so it's a sad story about how he tried to help Vincent Gray, and he couldn't help him in the end, and he's frightened that he's not going to be able to help Cole. So Cole says that he's ready to tell his secret, and this is the big, from the trailer. The I see dead people scene. Joshua says M. Night's cameos almost always have him as an a-hole. Not in Signs though. Yeah, but he did kill somebody. I don't know. I can't really remember, to be honest. It was like, it was tight, you know. He wasn't like a drunk driver or anything like that, was he? But I think he was just tired, wasn't he? And he just ran over Mel Gibson's wife, didn't he, in Signs? And I don't know. I can't really remember. I can't remember what they were like. Were he in the village? I can't remember him being in the village. But I've only seen that once. The Lady in the Water. In that, wasn't he? He was like the author, wasn't he? He was the one writing the story, wasn't he? But I can't remember much of that either. Anyway, this is the big scene. The I see dead people. So this is where we learn the rules, basically, of the ghosts. He says he sees them. They're all around. And they don't. It was the park ranger were in the village, were they? All right. Spoilers for the village. Where were we? Yeah, it sees dead people, ghosts, and they're everywhere, and they don't know they're dead, and they don't see each other. The ghosts don't see each other. What else? They don't know they're dead. They only see what they want to see, and I presume only hear what they want to hear as well. And that's about it, really. And some of them are angry. He says, maybe not an a-hole, just antagonistic towards the pro-tags. Yeah, maybe so. Yeah. Yes. Anyway, so that's this is where we learn his secret. Like I say, it's an amazing scene. Like I say, how did he not win the Oscar? God knows. He should have won it. He should have won it for AI as well. It's another film that sets me off. AI is a great film. Anyway, so I think this is still though him telling him his story about Vincent Gray, and then we get to the I see dead people bit in a minute. This might be it. There we go. Yes, I see dead people. James Newton Howard's, scar swelling as he's telling this. There we go. Why? And I read a thing that said when he says that I see dead people, the camera like pushes in on Bruce Willis, as though to say, he's one of the dead people. And they thought about taking that out, but they didn't, because they thought it would be obvious. But I don't know. They're pushing on him as well, don't they? So it's just to add gravity, I suppose, isn't it? You could argue. Right, so that's that. That's where we learn all that. And this is where Malcolm thinks there's something really wrong with Cole. So saying, it maybe needs medication and hospitalization. And can't help him. So he thinks he's another Vincent Gray. Right, so Lynn brings him home. He was kept in hospital for a few hours just for a bit of rest, and then they said she could bring him home. So she brings him home and puts him down on the bed. She notices he's got a tear in his jumper and he's got a tear in his shirt, as we'll see. She notices the tear in the jumper there, as though like someone scratched him. And then she notices the tear in his shirt there. You can see it there. Look. Why does my mouse pointer sometimes appear, sometimes not? Oh, it's there now. Look. Now you can see the scratches as though some demonic force has scratched him. Oh, that fella in the whoever was locked in the cupboard. the ghost of that chap. And then we see he's got scratches, so she's upset about that. So she goes and phones up, I presume it's the mother of the kid whose party they'd been to, telling them, I'm just phoning you about keeping your kids' hands off my son, etc. Fade to black. Right, next up, here we go. Now we start seeing some proper ghostly activity now. We're seeing shots of the apartment. It's all quiet, and it's supposed to be the middle of the night. Is that what it was? I didn't look it up. I didn't look it up. Michael Caine beat Osment for Cider House Rules. Yuck, I've not seen it, obviously. But it's Michael Caine, isn't it? And not a lot of people know that. You're only supposed to blow the bloody doors off. That's my Michael Caine impression. Oh dear. Anyway, right. That's I meant to look up who won for it'd been the 2000 Oscars, wouldn't it? If this came out in 1999, it'd be the 2000 Oscars, wouldn't it? I assume. And I meant to look it up and I forgot who won. But Osment were up for Best Supporting Actor, so Michael Caine the Best Supporting Actor in that one? I don't know. Anyway, we're seeing shots of the apartment all quiet, and then he wants to go to the loo. He's woke up in the night to go to the loo. Michael Caine's just done one for his tangerine speech. Yeah. I've seen that YouTube video. It's very funny, isn't it? A little like a tangerine. Anyway, so he wants to go to the loo, but he's scared, obviously, because he knows he's probably going to see something. But anyway, he makes a run for it, and slightly reminiscent of how we saw Vincent Gray at the beginning of the film in his underplugs. He's having a wee. The temperature drops. There you go on the old Honeywell. You can see it dropping, and then we see somebody walks past. Oh, we missed it. Somebody walks past him, and then his breath appears. His breath appears anyway, and but it must be an angry ghost. We learned that we also learned that when they get angry, it gets cold. So, I mean, maybe not just angry, maybe just emotional, because sometimes it gets cold and the ghost isn't angry. For instance, the Misha Barton ghost, Kira, she's called. She's not angry, well, I don't think she is, but she's wanting help, so she's emotional. Anyway, he goes into the kitchen and he says, "Mama," and she turns around. This bit always gives me the willies every time. There we go. It's obviously not his mother. It's a victim of domestic violence. There we go. We see that's who's been opening all the cupboards and the drawers. And I presume this is the first time he's seen her. Obviously, maybe he didn't see her open all the cupboards and drawers before. But he's seen her now. Or maybe he has seen her before. I don't know. I maybe just thought it was his mother. But she shows her wrists anyway. And obviously, there's cut marks on the wrist. So she obviously topped herself. He runs away terrified into his little tent. And there you go. There's the figurine he stole from the church and all these others. And so he's hiding in there, scared to death. Blood on her robe. I don't know. It's maybe the what? I thought it was a pattern. It could have been blood. I don't know. So we'll go back and have a look. Go back and have a look and see. I thought it was a pattern. You mean that? Right, it's a pattern, that, isn't it? I can't see. Yeah, it's like flowers, isn't it? I can't see any blood on her robe. Is she gonna see if she holds her wrists out? There we go. It just shows that she's been cutting herself. Anyway, so he runs to his thing and he probably spends the night in there, terrified. Poor little bugger. It's the Buddy cries. Yeah. I can't remember what he does. It's more like that, innit? And that is a cool film, is Dogma. Anyway. Sorry if anybody's wondering what I'm on about. There you go. Right, we cut to a school play. here's Tommy Tamasimo, whatever the hell his name is. He's obviously the lead, I presume. And he's talking about somebody that can talk to the animals. And I can't even remember what it's about. But he says that. Yes, rest in peace, Carlin. He says that. And then everybody lifts up the cameras, look. So they've obviously missed the bit where he's started the show. Obviously, nobody cares about Tommy Tamasimo. It's a humorous bit. All the families videoing with their huge video cameras from 1999. Anyway, so this is the school play. I don't know what it's supposed to be. Dr. Doolittle or something. I don't know. I don't know if it ever tells us. But it says he talks to a young boy who can talk to the animals. Or is it Jungle Book? Oh, it says there. A Jungle Tale. Oh, you can't see for my fat head. Behind my fat head, it says A Jungle Tale. So maybe it's a riff on Jungle Book and stuff like that. Not a single phone. No, not in 1999. Anyway. So, there's Bruce watching. So he's talking to Cole. Obviously, Cole's not in the play. He's asking him. Oh yes, I think he's asking him about what he said, and I think Cole notices something. Or is that later? Yeah, he's asking him about what he told him about the ghosts, and he carries on walking. And Cole's obviously stopped, so he goes back. You see, Cole can see 3 people hanging, looking up the stairs. There we go. There's 3 people hanging, and they're watching him. And Malcolm can't see them because so they don't see each other. Could those 3 ghosts see each other that are hanging? I don't know. Kind of go like, "Hello, what are you hanging about here for?" I don't know. Anyway, they can't see that, but he doesn't understand. This is where he's telling him when they get angry, it gets cold, and all that. And like I said, another great scene from poor little bugger. And another exposition scene, more or less, about the ghost, about the rules. Must be nearly Halloween. She's got a pumpkin there, so they're having fun in the trolley. Happy families. Oh, this is Tommy Tamasimo's. Am I getting that right? He did an advert. He did the cough medicine advertisement, and so he thinks he's a bloody Hollywood star. That's why he's a little shit, basically. And Cole, doesn't appreciate it and throws something at the telly and turns it off. It's a good shot, that. I think it's his shoe. Good shot, that. And his mother's saying, why is it always so cold in here? We know it's because the house is full of ghosts that are coming to see him. The Ghost from Stardust should come cameo. Your favourite. Yes, my favourite film of all time, that. Stupid bloody film. Making me enjoy it. Damn it. Supposed to hate it. Anyway, enough of that. So she's wondering why it's cold. Anyway, so they're having the dinner with their. It's not exactly an oak dinner table, is it? But when the roast beef. Anyway, she's talking to him about a pendant, a butterfly pendant that disappeared from her room, and she found it in Cole's room. And she says, why did you take the pendant? It was grandmother's, it was grandma's, and it'd be, how I would feel if it got broken. And obviously Cole saying, I didn't take it, I'm sorry. But she don't believe him. There's another good scene between them that sets me off a little bit, because I'm feeling for Cole here, because he doesn't want to tell her the truth, that he knows that basically grandma's been taking it because she, were her favourite. But he don't want to say, because he thinks his mum won't believe him. So he's saying, no, I didn't take it. And so she loses her temper and sends him to his room, basically. There you go. Cool acting. Anyway, he goes into his room. All right, and as he's going to his room, we see a young man walk past, and then he comes back. Here he is, look. And he says, hey, I know where my dad keeps his gun. And then as he turns round, is it going to show it? There we go. We see the back of his head being blown out. So he obviously used his dad's gun till he's sod. So I don't think Cole wants to go in there now. Oh, the dog had come running out as well, and it had hid. The dog had hid. There's a funny pattern on his face. And it kind of looks evil, that dog, doesn't it? Anyway, is he a husky or something like that? I'm not big on dog breeds. I know German shepherds and poodles, and that's about my limit. And I hate poodles because I got chased by one as a kid. Anyway, Lynn is trying to get the dog out. There we go. She can't get the dog out. She's all crying because she's upset about Cole and stuff, and the pendant and all this. And Cole comes in and apologizes and, are you mad at me and all that. So this is another scene where I'm crying. Help my voice. I'm nearly going now. We have a lovely little scene, and then we have another. So we go to the antique shop now. Yes, I have my own terrier. Yeah, well, a Yorkshire terrier. Yes, yeah. But they're only little, aren't they? This were a massive poodle. Were a giant poodle, and that were only little. Chase me, barking its head off. I hate them. What a husky. Thank you. Yes, I see. I were right for once. Right, we're at the antique shop, Anne's Antique Shop. You see, it's got lots of things, and we meet the young couple who are looking for a ring. They're engaged. There we go. And it's, I don't know, blue sapphire or something. I don't know, whatever. It's probably a bit expensive, so he didn't want to buy it. But she wants it. And he asks, have you anything plainer? And she says, what, you want a plain ring for your plain fiancé? And he says, oh, no. So they do buy it. But they do another little exposition thing here where she's talking about, I don't know if she's like, what's the word? I can't remember the word. You can get impressions from objects. Mediums and stuff do it. They hold an object and get an impression from it of who owned it before or whatever. I can't remember the word that describes it. Anyway, she does a little bit of that, and she just says, well, the owner, did they have curly hair and brown eyes? Obviously, he ain't got curly hair, has he? He's got brown eyes, he ain't got curly hair. And then Anne starts talking about how, objects may, that's it, psychometry. Yes, that's it. Objects may, leave an impression or get an impression of whoever owned them before. So I think that's what we're seeing sometimes with Malcolm and all that. Anyway, so they buy that ring. Goes and it's ready to wrap it up. There we go. And as she's doing that, this fella, I can't remember his name. What's his name? It's probably Josh or something like that. I don't know. I don't know because I don't know. Looks the IMDb pictures are not very good. I don't know who he is. No, don't know. I don't think it's him. Anyway, I don't know. I don't know his name. Don't matter. Her assistant, but apparently he's got a master's degree. And anyway, it must have been his birthday, so she's giving him a present, and it's a first edition of some book. I don't know what. What's that? I equals. I don't know. Does that mean something? I don't know. Sorry, I'm being dense. And I don't know that show either. Is it a show or a film? I don't know. Oddly, just watched Vibes the other night. So I don't know that either. Wow, for a chat filled with people named Josh, you should tread lightly. That's true, yes. Yeah. But it's a popular name, isn't it, for people like that? Digging a hole, aren't I? Digging a hole. Moss Def. All right. I've heard of him. But anyway, where were we? I'll get out of this hole I've dug for myself. Right. So it's a book anyway, and so they have a little moment, and they have a cuddle, and then like they're gonna kiss. Then we hear a smash, and there you go. We hear a smash, and to go out. The window's been broken, the glass in the door or something being broken. So they go and look out to see what's happened. And all they can see is nothing because they can't see Bruce Willis walking away. Sorry, Malcolm Crowe. As you notice, he's walking a bit funny. I don't know why, to be honest. And he's like holding where he was shot. And I don't know if this is significant, but as we learn at the end, you can't tell really from the front, that he was shot there. All the blood's at the back of him. The bullet went straight all the way through. It just leaves a little hole there, and all the blood came out the back. But by the way, in the trailer, I forgot to mention this at the beginning. If you notice the trailer, there looks to be lots of scenes that aren't actually in the film. So I bet is there deleted scenes on this Blu-ray? I'm sure I've watched them all though. Feature film. No, there ain't. No bloody bonus features. You remember when DVDs used to be amazing for bonus features. Then Blu-rays came out, and for a while they were pretty good. But now bonus features are a dying breed, aren't they? Anyway, where were we? Yes, there were some scenes that we saw like an old man, didn't we? And like clutching a Bible or something, and like a car crash and all this other stuff. Anyway, so he's upset. Is Malcolm because he he thinks his wife's having an affair because obviously he doesn't know he's dead. B, he doesn't think he can help. Oh, pardon me. He doesn't think he can help Cole anymore. He thinks there's another Vincent Gray that he can't help. Oh, I drinky poos. So he's a bit upset. So it should be freezing where he is now. Everybody that is near, the breath should be showing. Vibes are Jeff Goldblum and Cyndi Lauper as psychics of different sorts. Also have Peter Falk and Julian Sands. They still haven't found him, have they? Julian Sands. No, I've not seen it. Was it a film or a series? Anyway. Oh, yeah, I remember renting this from the library and watching all the special features. Yeah. The Blu-ray, the sod all. Well, on the PAL version, the Region 2. Feature film, Bluescape, whatever that is. And that's scene selection. That's not special features, it's scene selection. Malcolm was definitely agitated by the ring, and that probably linked him to his death for a moment. Well, possibly. I think he was more bothered about his wife kissing that bloke nearly. I think that agitated him more than that ring. Anyway. So what's happening here? He's with Cole again. Oh, and he's telling Cole that he can't help him anymore. So they have another emotional scene. Cole starts crying that he needs help. He says, I can't help you anymore. You'll be assigned to somebody else. Obviously, Cole realizes that's nonsense because he's dead, isn't he? God, I frightened myself to death then. I just thought somebody were looking at me. See, I'm spooking myself now. Just out the corner of my eye, I've got an air freshener thing there, like a white air freshener on top of a record player there. And just out the corner of my eye, I thought it was a figure. It's been there for ages. Anyway, wow, they just released an article about Julian Sands 5 hours ago. Did they? Oh, right. So I've been checking I check like about once a week or something like that to see if anything's been found or anything. But so what they're saying this article is, have they found any clues? It's probably buggered off, living some in Argentina or somewhere. Anyway, so they're all getting teary, and he's getting tears rolling down. So he can't help him anymore. And he says, "You can't leave me. You've got to help me." So I think this may be where he's listening to the Vincent Gray tape now, as we was remembering him thinking back, reminding us who Vincent Gray is. Where we see his box of stuff. There we go. Vincent Gray session tape. That 1st of July, presume, because you do your month the wrong way round, don't you? Anyway, so I was listening to that. And we're hearing, not fun and games, but a light-hearted conversation, and then somebody calls. We hear on the tape, somebody says, Dr. Crow, somebody's online, whatever. He says, "Oh, sorry, Vincent, I'll just have to step outside for a minute. I won't be long." He's obviously left the recorder recording, so he's playing that, so it's all quiet. You could just hear the shh of the the cassette, but then you can hear whispering. Whispering starts, so he puts the volume up, and then he starts. He hears somebody speaking in Spanish, and it's all spooky, and the music's swelling again. The James Newton Howard music is swelling again. So here we go. There he goes, putting the volume up. And that's saying he hears somebody speaking in Spanish. I think it translates it. So it does show it in the subtitles for some weird reason. Because I watched it with the subtitles on. But it don't display that in the subtitles for whatever reason. I don't know why. But I think it's saying in Spanish, please God, I don't want to die, or something like that. Obviously, that was Vincent. Could he could probably see dead people as well and hear dead people. But that's another spooky scene. That's where he realizes that it's all true what Cole were telling him. He was going to see Cole. Cole's back in the church again, playing with his soldiers. Win Grace is saying asked a missing person expert to give his top theories about what happened. Yes, it's EVP. Yes, a bit like what we did a few weeks ago. We did White Noise, didn't we? We did White Noise a few weeks ago, which were more electronic transcommunication or something like that. I can't remember. Anyway, so Cole asks him if he's freaking out, and he says he is a bit. He's asking him about what do these ghosts want. Cole says, I don't know. He says, well, have you tried asking them what they want? He says, what if they don't want anything? What if they just want to scare me or hurt me? And so Malcolm says, well, basically says, well, you don't know until you ask them. So he says, why not be brave, basically, and ask the ghosts what they want. All right. Then he comes home and he sees Josh. He's not called Josh, but he's from now on in my head canon. Comes out, and I don't know. He looks a little bit angry. So I presume they've had a bit of a row. I think he's gone over maybe to woo her a bit because they nearly had that moment in the shop, didn't they? But she's still missing Malcolm, isn't she? So I think they've probably had a bit of a row, and she's asked him to go, and so he's driving away. So, and Cole is back in his tent with the dog. He wakes up, and I think it's where Misha Barton comes in. Oh no, he hears his mother talking in her sleep, and she's obviously worried about Cole because she's talking about Cole. She don't want people to hurt him and all that. So he's being all, I'm all right, Mum, and all that. And he goes back into his tent, and it gets cold. There you go. You see his breath. Probably got some ice in his mouth. That's how they do it in the old days in films. Pop some ice in your mouth, gives you breath. No CG, although they could have done in them days in 1999, but I doubt they did. And then we see, so he turns round and he sees she's called Kira. It's Misha Barton. So obviously, and she's throwing up some gooey, horrible stuff. And then she says, I'm feeling a bit better now. And he screams and runs off, and the tent collapses, but we still see it's landing on Kira. So he runs away and hides, but then he decides to be brave and go back. And he pulls the blanket off her. She's still there. And he asks her what she wants. So he gets brave. Says, what do you want? We cut to he's on a bus. I think it's a bus. He's driving to another part of the town, the city, and Malcolm sat next to him. Obviously, it's everybody else on the bus. He's just a kid going somewhere by himself, and probably talking to himself, to be honest. But it must be a way away, because he says she's come a long way to see me, hasn't she? So it must attract some of the ghosts. But anyway, they go there, and she must have just died, because they're going, and it's a a wake or whatever. A funeral's presumably happened, and this is the wake at Kira's house. So there you go. All the guests are there. It's all very somber. And Cole goes upstairs to Kira's room, goes inside, and looking around. And then Kira reaches out to him. I think we're going to see this in a minute. See she's got dolls and stuff and puppets and all that. There you go. It takes a step forward and she, come on, woman. Yeah. He's gone too far. Stupid bloody thing. Hey, takes a step forward. There you go. And her hand's going to come out now. You could actually see her then if you looked. You could see her down there. She reaches out, grabs his leg, and he obviously recoils in horror. But then she's there looking at him all, sallow-faced, I suppose the description is. And she pushes a box towards him. And, so he goes downstairs, takes the box downstairs to Misha's. Well, yeah, Kira's dad. I said, Mister, are you Kira's dad? She wants you to have this. It's something she wanted to show you. And there's a videotape inside. So he plays it. There we go. And we see she's playing with her puppets and having fun and all that. So they're smiling. But then she puts her little theatre away and jumps back into bed. Why? By the way, we'd learned that she'd been in bed for 2 years with this illness, mystery illness. And then somebody said a little sister's starting to get ill as well. So that other people at the wake were saying that. So a bit of background exposition going on there. Wingray says, I saw a clown puppet thing at Goodwill today that looks exactly like the one in Poltergeist. I should have taken a pic, but I was already running away. Yes, I would have been as well. Oh dear. Right. So, yes. So she's put the toys away and jumped back into bed. And obviously, this is supposed to be a stepmother, by the way. I don't know if she's got a name. Might just be stepmother. Just says Mrs. Collins. Doesn't say a name. Anyway. So she's bringing some sort of soup in. It looks bloody horrible, whatever it is. I don't know. It's supposed to be some noodle soup or something. I don't know. It looks awful. Doesn't look very appetizing. It's going to be even less appetizing in a moment because she's putting something in it. Have a see if we see what it is. Can't make it out what it is. New something, it says. New rive? I don't know what it is. What is it? Some American stuff. Is it like toilet cleaner or something? I don't know what it is. But it's obviously, she's poisoning it. She puts a capful of it in the soup and stirs it up. He's looking, seeing what's going on. So Kira obviously knew something was happening. She knew she was being poisoned. Why she didn't say anything before this, I don't know. But anyway. So he sees that happening, and we hear that we hear the stepmother. I presume I don't know if it is the stepmother, but it says in the Wikipedia plot description, it says stepmother. So I wanted to look and see if it were actually her mother or whatever, but it's stepmother, it says in Wikipedia. Anyway, so she's been poisoning her with whatever that was. Like Drano or whatever. I don't know what you have over there. We have like Domestos over here, bleach. Anyway, So he sees that, and we hear her saying, as she's giving her it. I don't think we see it, but I think we just hear it as he's watching. That the stepmother is saying, "Don't tell me it tastes funny. Just get it eaten." So she's poisoning her. And we learn that she's obviously started poisoning the little one as well. So she's obviously puddled, got a screw loose. So this is where he's learned that. So no, she's wearing red. That's a death. The death colour, as they know. You did it and all that. So she's being caught red-handed, and she just stands there like a lunatic, basically, just staring. Then we cut to Cole's outside with Kira's little sister, and he's giving her there we go, a little one of the dolls. He said, she wanted you to have this. She knew you liked it. And the little sister, I'm suspecting, maybe saw Kira. I know Kira's only just died, but maybe she did see her. Because she says, "Will Kira come back?" And he says, "No, not now." But anyway, I've noticed he's got a flash of white on the other side. We saw it on the maybe it's just a reverse image. Maybe they flipped it. I don't know. But maybe he's got one on either side. Anyway, so that's that. So he's helped Kira, and Kira can rest now that they've caught the stepmother, the wicked stepmother. And then we cut to school. I presume there's been a passage of time. Don't know how long. And there's the school play coming up, which is like King Arthur. And we see Cole is playing King Arthur. Well, not King Arthur, playing at young Arthur. And then they see this lady here, and the teacher comes in saying, they're calling for the stable boy. And she says, "All right, it's time to go." And she's obviously a seamstress, isn't she? She's got the little pin pillow there. But as she gets up and goes, he says, "Who are you talking to?" He says, "I was just practicing my lines." But then as she as she leaves, for crying out loud. Go back a bit more. She leaves. We see that they're going to show us. Oh, for crying out bloody loud. In between the skips, I'm going to have to just let it play. As she walks away, she turns, and we see that she's all burnt on one side of her face. Here we go. There you go. Turn around. There you go. She's all burnt and done in on one side of her face. So she's obviously a ghost, but a friendly one. So he's happy talking to the ghost now. They don't scare him anymore. Anyway, so he's all friendly now with stuttering Stanley. And as they're going upstairs there, he was saying, when he went to this school years ago, there were a terrible fire. And Cole says, "I know." So the play starts, and Tommy Tamasimo's in it, and he plays the village idiot. So he's got his comeuppance. Malcolm's watching, and they call the stable boy, and he's got to draw the sword from the stone. So he's obviously the main character. He's Arthur. There you go. And he's all cool, and everybody's bowing down to him because he's Cole Skywalker. Anyway, everybody's happy. Look, Bruce is laughing. They're all laughing and having fun. It's all jolly good, and Cole's all happy. And he's not going to see Malcolm anymore. And Cole says to him, he says, "I've got an idea of how you can talk to your wife." He says, "Talk to her while she's asleep. She'll hear you. She won't realise she can hear you." So he takes that advice and he says goodbye. He says, and he actually says, "I'll see you tomorrow." But I don't think he'll see him tomorrow. But anyway, so Cole's basically cured. A Cole series, couldn't they? Because it's called Sears. The Cole Sears series, where he's going out solving crimes, ghosts helping him. Anyway, so Bruce goes back home. He says goodbye to Cole. Before that, we saw this bit at the beginning of the trailer. There's been an accident. Another scene that has me bawling my eyes out. Stuck in traffic. There's been an accident. Don't know what's going on. And, Cole says a lady's being killed. She was on a bike and she's died. A lady was hit by a car and she's died. And she says, "How do you know that?" She says, I can see her. No, where is she? She says, "Next to my window." So we'll see that in a minute. There we go. We see you there. And then she just turns and walks away. I don't know why she came to look at Cole. Yes, Ghost Whisperer. I used to like that. Ghost Whisperer. There you go. Which were filmed on the Back to the Future backlot, that town with the thing, and where Gremlins were filmed as well. Ghost Whisperer also filmed there. Well, the town scenes. I used to like that. I didn't watch it all, but I saw the first couple of seasons, and I did enjoy it. Anyway, so anyway, I don't know why she were looking at Cole, but he tells his mum his secret, and then so she's saying, "No, Cole, you're scaring me now." And then he tells her all about the ghosts, see ghosts. Then he tells her about Grandma. It was Grandma that took the butterfly pendant, and she's sorry for taking it. It was her favourite, so she liked it. She don't believe him, so he says, "Stop it." And then he says to her, "Grandma saw you at your dance, and you were like an angel." And they'd had a fight, and she'd snuck in the back and saw her from the back. So she said nobody should know that. And she said gives a message from Grandma to Lynn. The answer is every day to the question that Lynn always asked her, and was it do I make you proud? And I'm sat roaring. Anyway, sorry. Drawn to Cole because of his ability. Yeah, probably. But they are everywhere. But not everybody can see him, can they? So yeah, they're probably drawn to him because he probably acknowledges them, doesn't he? As they're close to him, maybe he'll like look at them and they can see him. That he can see him because I presume that's how it works. Or maybe he's just shining more brightly than everybody else, like Caroline. Anyway, they got a little wonky later on when the dead husband came back in someone else's body or something. Oh, I didn't get that far. I don't think I did. I only watched it for Jennifer Love Hewitt anyway, but, when all's said and done. Handsome woman. That was weird and awkward. So it sounds a bit like Wonder Woman 84, doesn't it? Anyway, so then back to me crying. So I'm crying while this scene's going on. And she's, the message from Grandma. So they're all lovely and they have a cuddle, and I'm bawling my eyes out. Going into the kitchen and getting a tissue and giving it all. Like that. Of course I am. So there you go. Well, let's get past this bit before I start. There you go. Then we cut to the Bruce Willis household. She's asleep. Is Anne? She's obviously been up watching the wedding video again. So he goes up to her, starts talking to her. She says, "I miss you," and he says, "I miss you too." And then a ring. She drops a ring, and I think it's his wedding ring. I think she's still got hers on, but she's probably holding his wedding ring. And then I think he looks at his hand, and I think he's still got his wedding ring on because that's what he wants to see. She had the actual wedding ring. There it is. Does he look at his hand and sees that it's on his finger? On showers. It's not on his finger. Oh, whatever. Anyway, or maybe he's realizing. I don't know. I never noticed through the film, to be honest, if he had his wedding ring on. I bet he did. Anyway, where were we? Just read a theory that Anna Crow also has the ability, but more in her dreams. Well, maybe so. Maybe we all do in our dreams. Anyway, so that's the wedding ring thing. He realizes some things on, and then we're given a reminder of the rules that they don't know they're dead and all that. So only see what they want to see. So when he realizes something's up, then I think they start seeing her breath now as he gets agitated about what he's realizing. So her breath, you start seeing her breath as it gets colder. I'm getting the chills now, actually. There he goes. Looks in the kitchen, sees a table set for one. He sees the cellar door, the red door that he's been going up to all this time, the red handle. We see that it's got. Now, when he's looking at that, maybe we'll see that, but we see it's got a table in front of it with books on. Is it going to show us? Is it bloody hell? It shows him trying it, and then we're seeing that there we go. There's a table with books on, so he couldn't get into it anyway. It just appears where he needs to be. Windgrace says, "What if we only see dead people? The world ended, but no one noticed." Oh, very very optimistic. Hey, but you never know, do you? You never know. Maybe we're all dead. Seeing what we want to see. So he's realised that, seeing her breath, and he's remembering back now to when the night he got shot, and he's saying it doesn't even hurt. He thinks he's going to be fine. He looks. There we go. See, there's no blood at the front. You just see a bullet hole there. All the blood's coming out the back. And then he realizes it's there. And then we cut back to the night he died, and he says, "It's all right. I'm fine." And then he dies. He just dies. Just that's it. Must be like catastrophic blood loss or something, or organ failure or something. I don't know what happened, but or shock. Could have been shock. So he realizes he's dead. So he realizes he's done his stuff now. He tells her he misses her and he loves her and all that stuff. And Patrick Swayze comes and helps him. He realized he had two things to do. He had to help someone, which he did with Cole, and now he's got to say goodbye to Anna. He says, when you wake up, everything will be okay. And I presume she'll get on with Josh then, unless he's took a hoof. She'll meet somebody else. Meets Charles Xavier, doesn't she? That's who she meets. And that's it. That's the end of the film. Yes, that's the end of the film. And then it cuts to there's a flash, a white flash of him going to the other side. And then it cuts to like the wedding video of them dancing. And that's the end of the film. One of my favourite films is that. Always has me bawling my eyes out. Did the Rumble guy leave? I don't know. Probably. I don't know. Pippo 123. He never replied. But I didn't. I just replied in the audio, not actually on the live chat. Anyway. So yes. So anyway, where were we? Sixth Sense. Yeah, one of my favourite films of all time. I think it's amazing. It has me crying every time I watch it. It's one of those films. I mean, somebody mentioned it actually in a stream I was watching. I can't remember which one it was now. And they mentioned The Sixth Sense. They mentioned there's films that, once you know the twist or, the end, you don't want to watch again. And I thought, well, that's not true because I've watched The Sixth Sense loads of times. It's not all about just knowing what's going to happen. It's the journey, isn't it? And it's a really well-made film. It's a really, really well-made film. So, I know, let's get rid of that then. Make myself big. You can see all my puffed up eyes where I've been crying. You should see me watching When Harry Met Sally at the end of that. I'm a bloody wreck. I am a big soft pob. Right, so that's it. So give it a whirl. If you haven't seen it, I've just spoiled it for you. But everybody's seen The Sixth Sense, and everybody knows. Even if you haven't seen it, you know the twist. Wherever you heard that, I watched the same thing. I'm not sure who said it. Yeah, I can't remember what it was now. It might have been not podcast, maybe. I don't know. But somebody said it, didn't they? But anyway. Right, so we'll leave it there. Because I'm gasping for a proper drink. So that's it. I haven't decided what I'm doing next week, but for the Friday night appointment with Fear. But next Monday, the Monday morn this week is going to be A Quiet Place. Is that a horror film? I don't know. I just thought it was rubbish. I hated it. Anna's boyfriend assistant with benefits was Sean. What I don't know. I'm trying to work it out from the photos on the IMDb. But Glenn Fitzgerald as Sean. Was that him? Oh, no, fair enough. Is that what it says in? No, it doesn't say there, does it? Never mind. Yeah, okay. I'll take your word for it, Joshua. But fine. But it'll always be Josh to me from now on. Anyway, right. So if we say it enough, everybody will have a Mandela effect about that fella in The Sixth Sense were called Josh. So everybody will think that. Does the ghost of Mr. Chicken count as horror? I've no idea because I've not seen it. I've seen The Ghost Goes West. When I was a kid, I saw that. It's from the 1930s, isn't it? And I saw that as a kid and I loved it. And then I think I saw it a few years ago. I think it's on YouTube probably somewhere. I thought, bloody hell. How did I like this? Anyway. Right, we'll leave it there. So, thanks, Joshua. Thanks, Wingrace. Thanks, DJ. And thanks also to Pippo123 over on Rumble for joining in. Also got to thank Archmage Frey on my Patreon shout out. Is my sole patron. I put a video up today, actually. A review of this season's Black Mirror. But anyway, which I enjoyed. Anyway, so I'm going to go now. So, yes, so fare thee well. Fare thee well, mates. Right, so I'm going to go now. So, what was I saying? Oh, yeah, Quiet Place I'm doing on Monday for my Monday Moan. A lot of people like that film. Everybody that I spoke to about it, not to speak to many people, but they've said they liked it. And it seems to get good reviews. But I don't like it. It annoys me. Just the film annoys me. Anyway. Right, so I'm going to go now. So thanks for watching. Wherever you are, don't have nightmares. And I'll sort myself out. Well, until next time, I'll see thee.